Hello and welcome to Political Paradigm. I'm Terry Ikumi. My guest today is a former special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari, who is now running for governor of Akwa Ibom State on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Enang. Welcome to Political Paradigm, distinguished.
Thank you very much, and thanks for hosting me.
It's interesting to call you distinguished. You've been out of the Senate for about 2 terms now, I believe. I think I should commence by perhaps congratulating you because it was your suit that led to the court judgment, which was recently granted, disqualifying Mr. Kanudofia from running for governor.
Yeah.
But let's start from the beginning of all these. You had resigned your position to run for governor, got in there and found some anomalies, as you put it, with the process. So talk to us through the process of the primaries and what happened, all culminated in the court's judgment.
Thank you very much. We had contemplated and were actually, I'm the aspirant and the leading aspirant in the governorship race for Akwa Ibom State on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. We joined the party early and worked on the presidential election in 2015. And after that, His Excellency Mr. President favored me with the appointment as advisor on National Assembly. And after that, in 2019, 2020, I was appointed as advisor on Niger Delta Affairs, from where I resigned to contend for this position. So from that moment, 2014, 2015, I led the party. I led everything about the party in the state. Yes, I was advisor, but I was a minister. But I did everything political. I worked and managed everything relating to the party. And up to the point that we received our former minority leader, former governor, into the party about 2018, And we kept working with the party and so on. And when it was time, I contended for the ticket of the party. And we were going on until about the 4th of May or 3rd of May. We heard that another person is joining the race. And he's coming from the PDP. And no, we said, look, everything about him is PDP. One, Mr. Kanudofia, my friend and brother, because he was campaigning under the PDP. He bought the form of PDP. He was screened and cleared for the contest of the PDP. And he attended the screening and had the clearance form of PDP. But they said he wants to join our party. We said, how? So, well, one thing led to the other. I think on the 5th of May, he joined our party after purportedly resigning on the 1st of May from the PDP. But he contested and had votes in the PDP governorship primaries of the 25th of May. And on the 26th, the following day, he also contested on the platform of the APC and purported to have won. So we said, look, one, the process was very wrong. They didn't use the correct delegate list. Second, there was dispute as to who was conducting the nomination. Third, INEC did not monitor it. Fourth, there was security challenge. Fifth, the purported Congress was conducted without the knowledge and participation of other aspirants, because after the imbreglo on that day, there was stalemate, and INEC announced that the Congress is postponed and that a new date will be given, and that the chairman of the committee sent from the National Office in Abuja has said that he's too traumatized to think about conducting primaries. So when some of us got home, we heard some minutes later that Congress is being conducted about past 12 and 1 o'clock a.m. the following day. And I went, saw it, and 1 or 2 other persons came, saw it, and said, look, this is not it. So all other persons did not come because they did not even know that the Congress was going to hold, because it has been formally postponed. But long and short, on the basis of this, we went to court. One of the grounds we went to court is that the Electoral Act says that you must be a member of the political party, and you must be a member during a time before the register of the party is deposited with INEC. because the record of the party registered must be deposited with INEC was deposited with 30 days to the primaries. And so we said he wasn't a member. But the court held that I had prayed, and the court has found that the entire exercise was a nullity. And so a nullity cannot produce a candidate, and ordered that another primaries be held. He did not declare me.
I also listened to you and Mr. Ajibulu talk about this. He was the one who conducted that exercise. And he did say that you were there through the process for about an hour, even though you argue how long you were there. They said you went through the delegates list as well. And it's not clear what your concerns were at the time with the delegates list.
On the 23rd of May, I went to the party at headquarters at Blantyre. Please let me see the delegate list that we're going to use. They did not give me. I went on the 24th. On the 25th, where the election is holding on the 26th, the following day, I was still in Abuja, trying to pursue the national office of the party to give me the delegates list that we're going to use, because there was contention in Akwa Ibom, which of the delegate list we're going to use. Up to the 25th, and they did not give me, such that I had to struggle to board a flight that was coming through Port Harcourt, which I would have boarded the flight that was going to Uyo to Stret. All the flights had gone. I had to look for a flight from Uyo, from Abuja to Port Harcourt, to be able to meet the meetings and pre-Congress elections. I'm sure this is just telling you how much I suffered to get the delegate list, and I did not still get. Now, I went to the field for the election. And when I went, the first thing I asked is, where is the delegate list? The man told me it is not his business to produce the delegate list.
Which man?
The Ajibulu. All he showed me was the forms that people filled to buy the nomination form, the bank teller, all that is what the form that people filled, not the list that they will call you Ward 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ward 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ward 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he just arrived there. Within 30 minutes, he started. One, there was no accreditation. Local government by ward, local government by local government, because he had just arrived. INEC agreed with all the positions we canvassed that, and under the Electoral Act, that if you do not conduct a proper primaries, an improper primaries cannot produce a candidate, and that we did not conduct proper primaries. And so we do not have a governorship or deputy governorship candidate. So we're not even saying that, look, anybody's election had been annulled because nobody was elected.
Mr. Ajibulu has repeatedly said that he was only doing his job and he was working with the list available to him. Now, he did say that on the day of the primaries, you were there.
Yeah.
And you saw the delegates list, even though you say you had requested for it.
It did not, that was not a delegate list.
You did not see the delegates list?
No. It was just what he brought out was the teller, the form that the delegate filled to buy the form to contest to be delegates. He didn't have.
You know, the curious question would have to be, you expected a level playing field.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that you got that from the position you've taken and why you went to court. So this is political paradigm.
Yeah.
It's more of the politics around the issues. So the question is, do you blame INEC for the process, for the failed process, or do you think that within the APC, there were forces rooting against you and pushing for Mr. Akanodofia to emerge?
No, I don't blame anybody. A faulty process is a faulty process, and you don't go blaming anybody. And it produced nobody. And so there is no candidate. So the blame is over. We all return to the playing field with the party.
Now, it's easy for you to say that. I understand that you're trying to play safe. However, there is a rerun of that process that's been ordered by the court.
Yeah.
And the APC in Akwa Ibom State has 2 blocks, just as you have alluded to. And the concern would be, 1, what sort of level playing field will be granted? And 2, who would conduct that election?
Well, we are yet to go back to the party, and I will not speak about the process that the party will do. because we respect the party. We're looking for the best for the party. We have a presidential candidate. We're going into the presidential elections, Senate, House of Representatives, governorship elections. So we'll have to do everything to clothe our party with peace, honor, legitimacy, and whatever we have to sort out which is not proper or which is not right, we sort out in-house. And I would not want to state all here.
You know, I think, I understand where you're going with this.
Yeah.
However, while you say that you trust the party to do the right thing, I'd like to ask you this question. When all this was going on and you had made all these efforts before going to court, what sort of intervention did you seek from the leadership of the party, the National Working Committee of the party?
When this happened on the 26th, on the 27th, I and Mr. Alton Utuk called a joint press conference stating that, look, what we had done yesterday will produce nothing. And it was widely carried all over the country that we will not have a candidate from that process, knowing the law. On the 30th, I wrote another letter to the party. I said, the party, we still have some days left before the window of the party is closed. And I told the party that even if I were produced by that process, I will not claim it and I will not say there was a nomination because it will end in nothing. That what we've done and what has been done is wrong and it will not produce any candidate because when it was not monitored by the party, and I stated all the irregularities, and I drew the attention of the party to the provisions of the new Electoral Act, which guides our process. And I said, we will not have a candidate.
At that press conference?
Yes. No. In a different letter I wrote to the party, which I exhibited to the court. What I wrote cited the law. On the 5th or so, I wrote another letter. I said, look, party, let us look at all I have written and said. I drew the attention to the Electoral Act. And I also drew the attention that it is not only the gubernatorial primaries that is in issue. It is the National House of Representatives and House of Assembly primaries. And I drew the attention that, look, in the Senate primaries that were held on the 28th or thereabout, that it was held in two factions. INEC monitored one that had the proper delegate list, and the party from Abuja conducted the other one, or purportedly conducted the other one, which was not monitored by INEC, and in a different executive, a different leadership. They conducted in one room. Every election of every thing, wherever they conducted in one room, wherever irrespective of the constituencies, they didn't even go to the constituencies, particularly the Houses of Assembly. I drew attention that it will produce nothing, that the electoral law has changed, which we used to say that the choice of candidate is the business of the political parties. That because of the indolence of political parties in the past, a lot of the things that were normally taken to be internal affairs of the political party has been elevated into the Electoral Act, so that you have to obey. I drew the attention. And I told the party that, look, the way this thing is going, we will not have party candidate for governorship, House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and Senate. And if we don't have candidate for this, we don't even have candidates who will be like the focal point in the senatorial district, in the federal constituencies, in the House of Assembly, who will be the first line of campaign for the political parties. That I'm no more talking about the governorship, which I am contesting and contending for. That I'm talking about candidacy at all for the party in the entire state. And that was the first time that I escalated the letter to the president, the vice president, the chief of staff, the secretary to government, the secretary to the government of the federation. I first addressed to the chairman of the party and the secretary of the national chairman and secretary of the party and the national organizing secretary of the party, and escalated that this is the danger that the party is going through, and we're not going to have candidates. Because if this other one is conducting senatorial election in this place, another one is conducting in the other, it produces two sets of candidates. And each set of these candidates, as of today, each of the sets of candidates are in court. The one in the Austin Ekanu faction that are in court, that they are the one that would use the delegate list of INEC, and one or two of them have won. The other ones are in court that, look, it was I that won from the section that was conducted by the national office of the party, but which INEC did not monitor. Because INEC made it clear throughout that, look, this is the court order. This is what it says. This is the delegate list we have. And we are going to, and from the process and the Electoral Act, we are here. So they conducted, INEC has recognized that faction. This other group, which the national office sent in, INEC did not. I drew the attention of the party that, look, we still have a window. Time is still open. Please, come call everybody back. Put a panel. Call the leaders. Let us agree on, even if it is to share and have a little bit of what the party call consensus for each of the House of Representatives constituencies, House of Assembly constituencies, senatorial districts. Let us have a situation that we can have candidates. So this question that I'm talking about is not only for the gubernatorial that I'm talking about, the entire situation of the party in Akwa Ibom State.
How did the party respond?
The party did not respond, and it took no steps in response to those letters.
Yet you say that conducting a rerun of that election, you are confident that the party, the leadership of the party, will do the right thing and provide a level playing field for everybody?
I will not speak more about it, but all I'm saying is that I wrote 3 or 4 letters.
Senator, I'm just trying to...
I did four different letters to the party every 2-3 days. So after the presidential nomination, I said, look, we've now had a presidential candidate. That to work and win the election, we need at least to have candidates. We still have the window. Find out how we can resolve these matters about candidacy in each of the federal constituencies. So in each of the federal constituencies and senatorial districts, you have two people. And Akwa Ibom has the highest number of cases in court. Clearly, election case in court.
Clearly you were ignored.
APC.
Clearly you were ignored by the leadership of the party, despite the calls and concerns you raised. And a rerun is coming up. There are concerns now that you may have stepped on certain toes within the party. So going into that rerun, and the many people you may have offended.
No. What I did
what are your concerns?
I don't have concerns. Because I had, after this, they have been holding discussions with me. They have been asking for oral.
They would be who?
Sorry?
They who?
The national office of the party. The chairman, the deputy chairman, national chairman North. Senator Chiari, the organizing secretary, the national legal advisor. We've been examining the position together. What I mean is that they did not make a formal statement on it, but we were holding meetings about it.
And as it stands now, you're quite positive that these meetings will yield positively in such a way that the rerun will be free, fair, and credible for everyone.
I believe I'm confident, because not that anybody's going to defend now that I am the candidate on record. Don't remove me. Don't remove my name. There is nobody's name there. And so the playing field is level now.
There are concerns. I know you started this conversation talking about how you were the leader of the party at the time until Senator Godswill Akpabio got into the picture. And it's not clear whether you handed over the leadership of the party to him. But what we do know as far as politics is concerned, that the leader of any party has a huge influence on the outcome of certain elections at different positions. Where does Senator Godswill Akpabio come in all these, in terms of addressing the issues within the party? Because this is initially an Akwa Ibom APC affair before it escalated to the national level. Were you the leader? Are you the leader of the party? Or is Senator Godswill Akpabio the leader of the party as we stand? And what role does he have to play in all these? Because some say that it was his influence that brought Akanudofia there. Some say he's been imposed by Senator Godswill Akpabio.
I will not want to go mentioning names of people or persons in the states or roles they played or something, I will say that all I want is how we can have credible candidates for all the offices to run the election and win for the presidency, Akwa Ibom, the governorship, the senatorial seats, and other elective legislative offices.
So who leads the APC in Akwa Ibom State? You or Senator Godswill Akpabio?
I will not speak about it.
There's no leader in the APC?
I will not speak about it.
But I mean, you started. You were bold enough to say that you were the leader of the APC.
I will not speak anymore about it.
In the party.
No, I won't speak about
it. But are you not worried that this could be the problem within the APC in the state? Lack of leadership?
We have a means of handling our moment, and I won't speak more about it. Yeah.
That's fine. You know, you say you have a means of handling this, but you went to court regardless.
Yeah.
But there are concerns as to the chances of the APC in Akwa Ibom State, considering the internal crisis happening now. Do you have that concern as well?
Well, we've addressed the concerns. With a credible candidate emerging, the concerns will be, I will address itself and we will win.
You will win?
We will win, yeah.
If you don't emerge as the candidate of the APC, will the APC win in 2020?
I'm confident that everything put on the table, I will emerge the candidate of the party and we will win the elections.
What's fueling your confidence?
The grace. Grace upon grace.
You know, it's interesting to hear a seasoned politician like you speak about grace. I reminded you at the beginning of this conversation that you've been out of active politics.
That's not correct.
So just a second. I understand that politicians like to pick on some of these things, but you've been special advisor to the president. The people of Akwa Ibom State, some of them, based on the reports I've seen, sort of do not believe that you have the political clout to win a governorship election in the state. So since I'm sitting with you, do you have the political clout to win a governorship election?
I was a councillor in the local government and made a lot of impact. I was a member of the State House of Assembly. I made a lot of impact. I was in the House of Representatives for 12 consecutive years. I made a lot of impact. Consecutively and immediately, I won into the Senate. I made great impact. And immediately after that, I was appointed advisor, and I served continuously and to 2020 until 2022 when I resigned. Now, from 1999 till 2022, I have been in service of the people of Akwa Ibom State. And I've attracted so much projects and programs to Akwa Ibom State. I was instrumental to President Jonathan giving Akwa Ibom the Federal Polytechnic, which was to be in my place. But because the governor took it to his place, in Okana now I brought the Federal Polytechnic to Okana. I also brought the Federal University of Technology, which is now sited in Ikorabasi. I am instrumental to the award of the 3-tranche contracts for the construction of Ikorekbene to Odokpani Calabar to Highway at the total sum of 185 billion naira. I've brought several power projects to the states, and irrespective outside my constituency, I was instrumental with my colleague, Senator Odo Odoma, Obong Victor Atta, Senator Emmanuel Libor Essien, and a few others for the abolition of the onshore-offshore dichotomy, which has made money available to the entire Niger Delta. I was instrumental. I said that, I know this is a national, but I played key role, and the whole fight was led by Obong Victor Atta, myself, and Senator Odo Odoma.
I like the thing.
Now, I played key role, very key role, in the establishment of the Niger Delta Development Commission in the year 2000, in overriding the veto of the president in year 2000, the first and the only law today from 1999 till today, which does not have the presidential signature, and yet it has become a law, which will mobilize the entire country, and that law only has the signature of Dr. Chuba Okadibo and Gali Umar Abba. It has become law. I played a leading role in overriding the president's assent.
I like to,
and also on the question of the aborted third term, I played a key role too. So these are all the.
What role did you play in the third term?
No. I played a key role.
What role was that?
It went under, and it didn't pass. but I played a key role. Now,
yeah, just a second.
No,
you know why
No.
this conversation that you've shifted to is important.
No.
In the annals of history, your name doesn't pop up in those who truncated the third term bid of President Olusegun Obasanjo. So hearing you
I know the role I played. All name may not
but you won't divulge that role.
No.
Are you not proud of the role you played?
I am proud of the role, and
or you still don't want to divulge proudly.
It stands out, and we have a club of men whose today stand as those who took a particular stand and played a particular role, which led to certain issues. Now you talk of a clout. These are all the things that I have done, which stands me out in the entire state. And gives me the clout that I know I will win, God willing. And again, God willing, and by the grace of God, to be the governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Now, if you scale through the primaries in the APC, first of all, let's hope, I'm sure you hope, that your people remember all these things that you've done for them.
Yeah.
But if you scale through, you have the PDP incumbents.
Yeah.
The PDP under Udom Emmanuel, as analysts have said, stabilized and sort of assisted the people of Akwa Ibom State to an extent. And then as it stands now, some say that Mr. Umoeno is very much accepted by the people. What chance do you believe that you stand against an incumbent party and a candidate considered to be popular and accepted?
I don't think that it will be wise for us to talk about, for me and us to talk about the chances of our winning some other person at this stage when we are still talking about primaries of our party. It is not politically wise. We don't need to divulge our strategies, and we don't need, if you examine the psyche of the people and the feeling of the people, you will draw a conclusion different from what you think.
What's the conclusion?
You'll draw a conclusion that APC will be able to take over, but it is not appropriate, politically wise. It is not politically wise for us, while talking about nomination of our party, to go and talk about inter-party. So for inter-party...
This is not your party issue. The conversation has shifted from your party to you as an individual, because this is, you're running for governor.
Yes.
So I'm pitching you running for governor against another candidate running for governor beyond your party, because like you said, you are confident that you would win. So let's assume that this is a manifesto option that you have now to sell yourself to the people of Akwa Ibom State. And so demarket the PDP.
No, we will not want to go into that at this moment, because we have to sort out the issues that are internal to our party first. So I still plead my privilege that it is not wise to talk about inter-party. Let us face within the intra, emerge, and we have a strategy. And we don't have to divulge.
Very well. Then since you want to talk about the issues within your party, there are allegations that it is Godswill Akpabio that is hindering the reconciliation moves within the APC. And that's why this matter got to court.
I will do everything at this stage to ensure that we bring every person on board and on the table to be able to discuss and reconcile. And so I will not want to point at any person as playing any role that has led to anything. In the course of these campaigns, post-nomination, I have been very careful not to say anything against any leader of the party, because whatever I say about any of the principal leaders of the party in the state, it will be used by the opposition to divide us.
Great. Was there an out-of-court option for settlement before now?
Sorry?
Was there an out-of-court option for settlement before now?
I will not be able to speak about it again.
I mean, the factional chairman, Austin Akanem, already alluded to that there was an out-of-court settlement option. But you don't want to speak about it.
Oh, no, I don't want
Something
to speak
you were
about
part of?
I don't want to speak about it because all I want is how we take steps.
But you were part of it. But you were part of that option.
For me to say yes or no means that it's still answering your question. So let me not answer, because I want every step that we can have to build back the party. We have a bigger picture. Tinubu is going to be the president of this country because we believe that our party APC will win. The other party that was giving us trouble during the ASU strike, I think it is waning and resting.
What party is that?
You know, one of the parties.
Which
because
of the parties?
Students were at home, and then they were being they had all the time.
Which of the parties?
Well, one of the parties, and now our main opposition party is facing what it is facing, and so APC is on the daily, hourly, minute by minute, time by time rise.
Senator Enang, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting.
So let us look at that picture of APC winning the presidential election.
I think it's interesting.
And when that happens, we also win the governorship. And we have many members of the National Assembly to wage and support the president so that we have a majority in the National Assembly.
I think it's interesting that a politician at your level doesn't want to speak on certain issues. I mean, it's normal for politicians to have a go at other political parties to market your party, but you don't seem to want to talk about other parties in detail. Well, you say that Tinubu will win.
Yes.
Will he win in Akwa Ibom State?
He definitely will win in Akwa Ibom State. Even when we seem to have had these problems, of no candidate.
But not even President Buhari could win in Akwa Ibom State. What makes Tinubu different? Now that you have a PDP governor for 7 years.
Check your records. Check your records. Now we are sure.
What records?
We are sure that with all the situation as it is now, with the effort that everybody has made, with what President Muhammadu Buhari has done for Akwa Ibom State, what the APC federal government has done for Akwa Ibom State, and the relationship between Akwa Ibom and the Tinubu government as it were in Lagos, and the way Akwa Ibom people rate the Tinubu record as a Democrat in Lagos. We're in the House of Representatives when he was governor of Lagos State, and we know how many battles he fought using the men he had in AD then, as a minority leader, and later Femi Gbajabiamila came in 2003, and the fight he fought to ensure that, and then to ensure revenue got to him, there was an order that it didn't get to him. He was able to sustain Lagos without federal revenue until the order was lifted and it was given revenue. We remember how he fought and that he has a right to create local government. He went to court very many times. I know it was His Excellency Professor Simbanjo, who was Attorney General of Lagos State then, and how many judgments he got. He was not afraid of the federal government led by President Obasanjo. He won the admiration of many people. He's a Democrat, and in all this, he never bowed to anything that appeared to him would be anti-democratic, as it were. And of course, they shared the same view with Obong Atta on a level of resource control, a level of federalism. So this resonates Tinubu of Lagos as governor with Atta of Akwa Ibom as governor, and they shared that vision. And so there is that level of trust in Tinubu by the entire people of Akwa Ibom State, because they were suffering what Akwa Ibom seemed to have suffering at that time. They were a minority party, but even Akwa Ibom seemed to have suffered some challenges of that level. Now, all the local government or area or city development authorities, which Tinubu established then as local government, they are still there and are still being funded. So this is pragmatism in a man who has now graduated from being the governor of his state, gone on to political building, political structure building, and now launch into the national scene with his political structure to contest for the presidency. So he has attracted the admiration of the Akwa Ibom people and the entire South. And this makes him certain that he will win overwhelmingly in Akwa Ibom State.
Very well. And now you say, let me take you back a bit. I asked you the question about the chances of him winning in Akwa Ibom State on the premise of what President Muhammadu Buhari went through in Akwa Ibom State and couldn't win in Akwa Ibom State. And you say that the people of Akwa Ibom State will vote for the APC in 2023 because President Muhammadu Buhari has done so much. What are the things that he's done for the people of Akwa Ibom State that would win for the APC in 2023?
Now, when we were yet not APC, he gave us very important posts in the administration. He gave us the office of Minister of National Planning, which was occupied by Senator Udoma, and that was key to the administration for a start. That's number one. Number two, he appointed me advisor on National Assembly, key as it were. And of course, you know the challenge we faced and we were able to surmount it for that administration. That also endeared him to the people of Akwa Ibom State. Now, you talk of other projects which he's done, the university which he's given us. Now, we are a PDP state, but he had to give a refund of 78 billion naira to the governor of Akwa Ibom State for the roads that were constructed by the Victor Otta and Godswill Akpabio administration. He gave that refund, and he gave that refund even during election. So this has endeared him to the people of Akwa Ibom State. He has done the Ikorekbene to Odukpani Ikorekbene Highway to Odukpani Highway to Calabar, which I have mentioned earlier, at the cost of 185 billion. There is a fertilizer plant, blending plant project that is happening now at Ikorabasi, over $2 billion in Ikorabasi in Akwa Ibom State. He did not consider that we are a PDP state. And so this has woken up the interest of people in him. There is a project, a 6 billion naira power project that is going on in Akwa Ibom State that is going on. In addition to what the Niger Delta Development Commission has been doing, which is a federal agency. And then there are a lot of other federal government projects. There is the Abak Ekparakwa Ikorabasi Highway, which was awarded leading to the Ikorabasi from Ikorekbene Federal Senatorial District to Eket Senatorial District. It's handled by CCECC, was awarded to. So a lot of all these projects and programs are what endears the people to APC administration, that when we were yet APC, when we were yet PDP, you did this for us. And so we're now going to join you as to vote APC and then vote out PDP so that we can benefit more under the new APC administration that we are expecting under incoming President Tinubu.
All right, let's expand the conversation now to the 2023 general elections and the presidential election. When you look at the state of the polity now, what's your general assessment?
Well, you have hits whenever there is any phase of the elections. You had it when we were having the registration of voters. You had it when we were having the registration of membership of political parties. You had it when we had each of the parties had their congresses and conventions. Hits was turned on as if it was going to collapse the system. But none of this collapses the system. It simply warms and energizes the system. So that is it. Now, we also have, as of today, there were very much security concern that the US and the UK declared that some parts of Nigeria were unsafe. And of course, we challenged that situation. We came out and proved as a government that Akwa Ibom, that Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory is safe. And we also drew attention of the world to the fact that if you have any security concern you should only relate it to your citizens and not create general panic in the country. Because as a diplomat, on assignment, an envoy, your jurisdiction is limited. You don't get into the internal, you don't act as a sovereign of the country. Because for me, what the US and UK government did in declaring the insecurity was insulting to the government of Nigeria, because they seem to have acted as if they were the supervisor of Nigeria. I speak that very seriously, and I take very great exception to what they did. Now, we've been able to overcome it and prove them wrong. So all those other things that brought tension and fear as to the 2023 has been addressed. My confidence is heightened and elevated in INEC, because if they had any ill intentions, they would have a product of just sweeping that under the carpet. But they have displayed voters' register. They say, go and look in each of the wards, in each of the polling centers. Look at the picture. Is this an underaged or an aged voter? Is there an unqualified person? Is there somebody that you've seen is registered in Ward 1, is also registered in Ward 2, or his name is registered in in the Unit 1 and is also in Unit 5? And of course, they have the computer system that weeds out those double registrations. So all these processes, the automation of the electoral process and the beavers, all novations and innovations that INEC has introduced, and then the confidence they are enjoying from the regional community, from the African community, from the international community, all this gives confidence that we will have a 2023 good, acceptable general election.
Same vehicle, different drivers. That's how I like to describe the APC going into 2023. And there are those who believe that this vehicle hasn't taken us anywhere. And we should alight and take a different vehicle. There are calls that the APC should be voted out of power. From your standpoint as a politician and someone who has spent so much time in the APC, why do you think that the APC could win the 2023 presidential election, despite these agitations?
I believe that President Muhammadu Buhari's APC administration has given greater visibility to Nigeria in the international community. I believe that we have a challenge of our currency. We have a challenge of inflation. We have a challenge on the economy. We have a challenge in agriculture. We have a challenge in the economy generally. But when you look at what is happening in the United Kingdom, United States, the Australia, the Caribbean, the Canadas, you will find out that these challenges are global and we are just facing it our own way. No country is insulated. When you look at 2016, the way Nigeria managed her economy out of recession, you will give the APC Buhari-led government credit for this. Now, where we are now is, how much was being budgeted under previous administrations for infrastructure like roads and power? Not much. But you look at the way we are able to budget for these things and execute them. And we show you what we're doing and what we're unable to, what we're not. We show you what we're doing with the money we are taking. You see it yourself. And we are not opaque in any manner or in any matter that we are taking loan to do. We show you what we're doing, how much it is. And it is this confidence and transparency that the APC Buhari administration has shown that has enabled the credit community, the Bretton Woods institutions, the funding institutions like the World Bank, the Arab institutions, the French Bureau, and the China windows to open their windows and give us loan, because they have seen the transparency and the ability to pay, and that the loan is being applied to seeable projects. So this is why I believe that the people have measured and will vote for it. Go to the southeast, you will see the second Niger Bridge. Go to look at the road that that President Buhari has done for all the Southeast states, and look at the way that we have the APC is getting popularity in the Southeast states. I agree that we have problem of security over the Southeast, but it could have been, but it is not insurmountable. It is being addressed. Diplomacy is being also applied and employed. It is not everywhere that kinetic approach is being done. So when you consider all this and you go to the Northeast, sometimes I was forced to think that if Borno, that had all these problems, has a government under Shetima, now succeeded by the present governor, has this level of development, then other states should emulate them, because this terrorism or this challenge is a problem that you have to overcome. You see the number of schools is building, the infrastructure, agriculture, human development, and the way the international community is helping, the way the Northeast Development Commission is helping, the way the humanitarian ministry is helping to build and rebuild Borno State. That can only happen under a transparent, well-driven Buhari APC administration. So these are the reasons that they will vote for us in 2023.
Senator Itaina.
And they'll vote for Tinubu Shetima ticket.
It's interesting you say that, because with the state of things in the country now, beyond infrastructure, the unemployment rate is high, inflation rate is high, the naira is losing against the dollar. The cost of living in Nigeria is rather high. Poverty level has risen to over 95.1 million, but that's according to the World Bank as at last month. And I'd like to get your response to this statement by your presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, just a few days ago, who said, thank God we're alive. There might be weaknesses and inadequacies and expectation. No one wants a failure. Now, he goes further to say, you cannot give up on us. We will do better. We will contribute to the improvement you might want. That was him agreeing that things have sort of deteriorated under the APC government, but he's promising to do better.
Yeah.
How do you marry that with the opposition that President Muhammadu Buhari, the APC under President Muhammadu Buhari, has done so well for the country, and Nigerians will vote for the APC again?
I do not understand the statement to mean that we will do better than this administration. It is saying that we will improve upon, because every child, every father wants his son to do better.
Do you understand the statement? You cannot give up on us.
Say, don't give up on your country.
Don't
give up on your...
No, he didn't say the country. He said us, the APC.
Us means the APC, the country, the local government, the state government, and so on. Say, don't give up on the country. Don't give up on the state government. Don't give up. Now, there is something a lot of people don't seem to understand about governance. When it is the actions of the local government and the state government that contributes to the rating of the federal government. But a lot of people will, particularly the PDP states, will want to, anything challenging the economy, they will say federal government. But they also receive a revenue allocation. They are to do agriculture, that's to do, to plant, to invest, to improve upon human capital, to do employment in the ministries and the parastatals. They are to build and bring industries and so on. They take their money and do what they want. And of course, when you investigate when the dollar is collapsing against the naira, it is whenever there is allocation and dollar is given to the government of the respective states. They go into the Bureau de Change and change at any rate. Or just give it out and people go and change at high rates. I say, I take responsibility for this statement.
You said dollar is shared to governments?
That is...
We don't share in naira, we share in dollars?
They share when there is federation allocation.
So federal allocation is shared in dollars, not naira?
There is what they call the exchange, there is the foreign exchange element which is called forex differential and all that. Most of these things, people have their monies in currencies. So let me not go into it because we still have to protect the integrity of the economy. And particularly at this stage that we are talking about Naira redesign because of the effect it is having on the.
But you agree that it would be a concern. You've already just said that federal allocation is shared in dollars, not Naira.
Let me not. No. There is the Naira element, but let me not speak more on the other one. It is shared in Naira, but the dollar elements are also taken account of, which I won't go. Whatever we find wrong, done by any tier of government, we have to take steps because it is still about Nigeria. Please.
Very well.
With all this, our candidate did not say don't give up on APC. He simply don't give up on Nigeria. Don't give up on the administration. Don't give up on the government of your state. Don't give up on the government of the local government. Don't give up on governance.
As we wrap up this interview, there are those who believe that 2023 presidential election will be different. They say it will be a 3 or 4 horse race. Is that what you see? Something different from the 2 horse race we're used to?
I think it was getting to be a 3 horse race.
Between who and
but it is tending to be a 2 horse race. It was likely to be, but it is still, we don't write off any of them.
Just a second. I don't know why you're being careful, but I know that the 4 horse race.
It is a 3 horse race between APC with 65-70%, APC with 55-60%, PDP and Labour Party sharing the other 40%. That is the 3 horse race.
Why do you say the Labour Party will share the votes of the PDP?
No, I mean, they will share between themselves, not the vote, the percentage.
What do you make of Kwankwaso's candidacy? I mean, he's part of the race, isn't he? And
he's a part of the race, but I'm sure the ratings and everything and what is happening and the enclaving of the campaigns to a zonal thing and to a state thing and the strength of the opposition party, the strength of APC in Kano State, which is its major base, in Jigawa and in a few other ones, and then the inroad, the waning strength of the PDP, and then the inroad by the Labour Party is making the NNPP, is giving them a challenge.
Do you comment these inroads that the Labour Party is making?
Yeah.
What does it add to the polity? Some say
that it activates the polity. In fact, it is I would want to say that Labour Party is like the campaign manager for APC, in my personal assessment, because it was their inroad and the fire with which they came that made us stand up and became more conscious, and we learned, we timed and marked them and what they were doing and what they were saying to be the views of some voters, and we went in and addressed those elements, and we've been able to recapture and build back the confidence of people in APC. So they are doing a good job for the APC, but we respect them.
So you don't think that the Labour Party will win in 2023?
I think that they will not win. APC will win, but they will give us a challenge, and we'll take that challenge very seriously, because we look at the caliber of persons who go to join them, what they say from there, and we take it not to be that of dissidents. We take it not to be that of complaints. We take it to be an advice to us. We look at the kind of things they're saying, the intellect with which they bring about it, the rave with which they go, the style of their campaign, and we've used that to activate our system also, and we've been able to gain miles and kilometers in our race.
So do you agree with those who say that while the Labour Party may not win in 2023, that it's building for the future, and come 2027, we may have a Labour Party president?
I will say that though they will not win, but they have challenged the polity and they have shown that there can be an alternative and that no government can come in and behave as if it has conquered the people or that the people don't have a say, because everybody is not in the same political party. And so being in the other political party, you will be free enough to say what you cannot say here.
Senator Enang, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. It's been an intense 1 hour conversation, and I thank you. I wish you well with the rerun that's going to happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine as well. Well, that's Political Paradigm, everyone. Thanks for your time. Go to youtube.com and search Political Paradigm, or go to channelstv.com. I'm Terry Ikumi. Goodbye.